Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do because it's going to be the kickoff to my 2019 project pan. This is going to be my 9 in 2019 project pan. So I did do the 18 in 2018 project pan. I will have my finale video listed down below. And when I was filming the finale video, I wasn't sure that I really wanted to do another year-long project pan because I didn't necessarily do great. I don't really consider myself to be like a true project panner, and I really like to try new products to be able to review them on my channel. So I kind of like threw it out there for suggestions, and quite a few people actually suggested to do a 9 in 2019, maybe like a rolling project pan if we get to that point, but something just like a less amount of numbers, because 19 projects to pan, that's really overwhelming. I think I only panned like actually like 4 out of the 18 project pans, so I was like, I just don't want to do 19. So I thought 9 would be a lot of fun, and I mentioned in a recent Chatty Get Ready With Me video that I'm interested in doing a little bit more on my channel with products that I already do have in my collection. The first Friday of every month, I'm planning to do a kind of like a shop to my stash video where I'm already going through my collection and picking out a couple products in each category that I really want to focus on for that month, and then I'll do a get ready with me with some of those products. So that should be going up for tomorrow's video. So I'm really excited about that, and I thought, you know, kind of along the spirits, let's do another year-long project pan. Maybe I'll do some shorter ones here and there, but I thought a 9 in 2019 could be a lot of fun. So this is my kickoff video. I will be doing check-ins like every quarter, so stay tuned for those. I'm curious to see what my progress will be, but if you want to see the 9 products that I picked out, let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so I did pick out a foundation and a concealer. Hopefully these work better for me than in my 2018 pan, because both of those products, when I was using them on a consistent basis, they were drying out my skin. These are 2 of my like favorite products, and I really like them, and I use them really frequently, and I've never had any issues. So hopefully I won't have to kick them out of my collection after my first check-in like I had to do last year. But for my foundation, I have the Lancome Teint Idole. So if you can see that, I mean, I've already made a lot of progress into this particular foundation, which I'm really proud about. This is the 310 Bisque Cool is my shade. My only like worry about this is that, you know, once the summer months roll around, I typically do switch foundation shades, and I actually have, like, this is one of my favorite foundations, like I said, so I have another shade that's a little bit darker for when I'm tanner, but I use this shade more months out of the year than I do my warmer shades. And sometimes it's still too dark for me, like the beginning of summer or the end of summer, and then I mix these 2 foundations. So I still think that this one is a good one to pick, and like I said, I use it a lot. You can already see some, you know, pretty good use in here. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how much of this foundation I can really get down there. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the whole thing. I don't go through foundations super quickly. I really like to try them out and test them, and you know, it's a foundation. I don't wear foundation every single day, all that good stuff, but I just thought it would be fun to see the progress that I could make. And then for my concealer, I chose the Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Super Natural Concealer, and this is in the shade Lite. Again, if you can see up here, I already have, you know, a bit of a dent in it, because this is a really nice concealer, and I don't feel like I hear a lot of people talk about this one. It's really nice and full coverage. Like if you love full coverage concealers, this definitely gives you that coverage. The shade Light is good for me right now. I can also kind of mix it with a darker shade that I have for the winter, so I feel pretty good about choosing this shade for the project. It's a little bit more on the drier side, just a little bit, but I still, if I just apply one eye at a time and blend out with a damp sponge, I really like the way it makes my under eyes look, and again, I really like having that full coverage in concealers. So this is another one I really enjoy, and I thought it'd be fun to see how fast I can use it up. Again, the Tarte concealer that I picked out for last year was too drying on my under eyes, but I think that'll be a good one to see. And I love concealers. I have a very large concealer collection, so I kind of wanted to pick one to focus on throughout the year. So that's why I picked that one. Next up, I have a powder. So this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder, and I have the shade 2 or medium. I feel like some people might be like, why in the world did you pick this one to pan? Because a lot of people love this powder, and it's a very pricey powder. I like this powder, I do. I like it. But it's nothing that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an absolute favorite, you know, I'll definitely repurchase this. So I think it'd be interesting to see if I would be able to hit pan on this one. I feel like I already have like somewhat of a little dent going on in there, so I don't know, it just makes me wonder like how often I'll have to use this powder to get some pan in it. But again, if this was like my absolute like 100% favorite powder, because it is so pricey, I might not put it into a project pan, but again, I like it. I like it. I don't love it, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of progress I can make with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I included a contour in here. I chose out a bronzer for the 2018 pan, and I did not hit pan on the Physicians Formula butter bronzer. I chose out a contour shade for this one though, because this is one of my go-to contour shades, and I've seen my friend Mel Thompson hit pan in hers, and I was like, I kind of can't believe I haven't hit pan in mine because I use it so often. I have it on today. I actually have the Lancome foundation on today and the Charlotte Tilbury powder and the Balm Take Home the bronze. This is in Oscar. They have been renamed, so I believe this one is called Ollie now, or Oliver. Oliver. But I'm just curious about this one. Again, I've had it for quite some time and I use it almost daily because I just think it's like a perfect contour shade for me. And I'm just curious to see if I will be able to get any pan in this contour shade. Next up, are you ready? I decided to put an eyeshadow palette in here. Ooh, who am I right now? Thank you so much. So I had a couple comments in the Project Pan finale video, people saying like, oh, did you not want to try to pan any eyeshadow palettes? And I'm like, no. Nope. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I just filmed my high-end eyeshadow palette Declutter, and even though I got rid of a lot of palettes, I kept a lot of palettes. I love being able to try out new eyeshadow palettes, and again, your girl only has 2 eyes, so there's only so much I can do with all of the eyeshadow palettes that I have. But I decided I want to see if I can put one pan into an eyeshadow palette. I'm not saying that I'm going to hit pan on all these shades, but like, can I hit pan in one? Can I? That's kind of me with my project pans. I'm just kind of more curious. How long does it take me to use up something? How long does it take me to get a bit of pan in something? I'm just curious because I feel like it will help with my like makeup buying habits. And that's really how I approached 2018, and I'm trying to keep that same thought process for 2019. So let's just see. And this palette, I have said before that I would not be surprised if this was the first palette I hit eyeshadow pan in, and that is from Dose of Colors and is the Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette. This is my most traveled with palette for trips, whether it be just like, you know, like the smaller trips I take with my husband because he works out of town and we're staying overnight, to the bigger trips in Arizona. This is pretty much what I wore the entire time for my birthday trip last March. I just feel like this might happen or not. But this is the Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette. Again, I'm only trying to hit pan in one of these, and not even like trying, like I'm not like here like, I'm gonna hit pan, like that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to see if it can happen. My guess would be it would be this second shade that I would hit pan on because it already has a pretty significant dent. Like these two I don't reach for a lot of times it's just for like smoking out the lower lash line. So I feel like maybe the second one I'd be curious. Dose of Colors does have a more powdery eyeshadow formula, which for me means I'm already light-handed. Again, that's another reason why I don't feel like I'd hit pan on an eyeshadow palette. I'm already very light-handed, but especially with a more powdery eyeshadow formula, you just don't need as, for me, I just don't need as much. So I don't know if it'll happen, but I'll be curious. And I'm kind of excited to have that eyeshadow palette that I keep going back with throughout the year. Like, yes, I'm gonna be doing these monthly ones too with the Shop to My Stash, but also to have kind of one to focus on throughout the whole year. I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen. You never know. Okay, so I did include a highlight in here, and I wasn't going to because I put the Balm Mary Luminizer in 2018 and I did not hit pan, so I was like, should I even put another highlighter in here? I love highlights. If you watch my Best of Beauty 2018, I had like, I don't know, 4 million highlights that I recommended, so it's like, will I ever hit pan in one? But I'm curious to see if I could do this, and it is what's on my face today. This is from Colourpop. This is in Flexitarian. It was mentioned in my Best of Beauty. I love this highlight. I think it's beautiful. It's one of the Super Shock Cheek shadows from Colourpop, and just curious. I'm just curious. I wear this a lot. I love this for like special events too. I'm filming on New Year's Eve, so we're going out tonight with friends, and it's just like, what do you want to wear? I want to wear Flexitarian. Like, a lot of times for weddings, what are you wearing? I'm wearing Flexitarian. In Vegas, I took this one to Vegas with me, so I've used it a lot. It's gotten a ton of love, but will I be able to put a pan into it? That's what we gonna find out in 2019. So, did include a highlight in here. I also included a like a setting spray or a facial mist in here. This is from Pixi Beauty. This is the Hydrating Milky Mist. So I'm already like just about halfway gone. And the reason I wanted to include this in the project pan is because I want to finish this. I genuinely really enjoy this product, but I feel like I barely reach for it because I have so many other sprays. I seem to always forget about this one and it keeps getting pushed back in my drawer. So I'm like, let's put it in the project pan. Let's try to use it up. That would make me really happy. A lot of times I actually use this underneath makeup, so I need to try to be better at remembering that. It has hyaluronic acid, which I absolutely love. It says it's a feather light mist-on moisturizer to provide a surge of hydration with hyaluronic acid to plump skin by trapping moisture. So, you know, it says before makeup to moisturize and prep. You can use it at nighttime. It's the perfect first layer of moisture, or anytime to give a burst of hydration. I really do like it before makeup. That's how I use it a lot. I generally tend to remember to bring this on my trips with me. For whatever reason, I'm good at remembering that, because a lot of times, like especially on more vacation-like trips, like I mentioned with Arizona or Vegas, when we wake up and, you know, start to get moving in the morning, a lot of times I don't like to do like a full face of makeup. I just want a little something, and I just feel like this makes my skin look nice after I apply it. So I tend to remember it then, but I'm really going to try to pull it out to the front of my drawer and see how well I can do on my Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. I do really like it. So I also did pick 2 lip products to put into the project pan. I decided to go with bullet lipsticks. I did have a liquid lipstick last time, and it's just harder for me to be able to tell like how I'm doing, especially to show. Like sometimes I can kind of tell how many times I have to dip in, but I thought I could do 2 bullet lips just because it's easier for me to track my progress. And I was going through them, and I chose 2 that I really like these colors. I really wear them a lot, and again, it can kind of just be like my thing for when I'm going out and I'm grabbing a lip color to throw into my purse. I can choose one of these 2 and see how I do throughout the year. One is a mini. I knew I wanted to do some sort of mini lip product for this pan. This is from Marc Jacobs. This is in Slow Burn. I used to absolutely rave about this color. I do love the Marc Jacobs lip formula. I have talked about that, I feel like fairly recently. I can't remember which video, but I know I've talked about that on my channel. The Marc lip creams are a wonderful formula. You have a bullet lipstick, but it's nice and creamy. It's very long wearing, and Slow Burn is just such a beautiful color. So this is a mini. It came in a Sephora, like a Sephora favorites set, and it actually made me go out and buy a full size of a Marc Jacobs lip product because I just thought it was so beautiful. So it's a really beautiful kind of pinky rosy mauve, you know, obviously duh, that's what I'm going to be choosing for my project pan. But again, a mini size, we'll see. I mean, that's all I can say is we'll see how I'll do. And the other one is what I do have on my lips today. This is from MAC. This is in HoneyLove. I put age, sex, location in my 2018 project pan, so I was like, should I do another MAC product? But I also love HoneyLove. When I do my lip picks videos, there was like either 2 or 3 months in a row where I kept mentioning HoneyLove because I wear this one so much. Like I said, it is what I have on today, and I just think it's a really nice nude. So the Marc Jacobs is more of a pinky mauve, like pinky rosy mauve, and then the MAC is more of like a, I mean, it's more of like a nude with a little bit of brown in it, almost like a little bit of peach maybe, like a very light undertone of that. But I just thought it'd be interesting once again to see how I do with this MAC lipstick. So we'll see how these go throughout the year, but I find myself reaching for HoneyLove quite a bit. It'd be interesting to see how I do with these 2 guys for the project pan. But other than that, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Those are the 9 products that I wanna see my progress on throughout the year of 2019. I hope that you will follow along my project pan journey for my check-ins and see how I'm doing. I'm just curious, like I said, I'm not a project panner, but I'm just very curious to see how I will get through these products and really put a lot of focus on them. I really hope I do better than the 2018 project pan, because I didn't feel like super successful at the end, but you never know. We will see how we do. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video. Let me know if you're doing any sort of project pan for 2019. Other than that, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.